What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to check in with what's going on with the One Piece card game. We need to remind ourselves about what's coming out and what we need to worry about. We need to take a look at the One Piece TCG release schedule. Because frankly, there's a lot of stuff coming and a lot of stuff just come out, and we need to get it all figured out. Of course, OP12 came out a couple of weeks ago. Big new set, making a big splash in the competitive format, which is fun. And then just last weekend, we saw the release of Starter Deck 22, the Ace and Newgate Starter Deck, one that I particularly have been waiting for. So that was lovely. But you know what? There's a bunch of other stuff coming that hasn't just released, and that's where we need to focus here. So the next thing that is going to be coming out, the next official release for the One Piece TCG, is Premium Booster 02. Now this has finally been officially confirmed as coming out on the 3rd of October. We've known it's going to be the 3rd of October for a while, but this past weekend, we actually had the official confirmation that it's not just a date that's been given to distributors. It is, in fact, the official release date. Now, one thing to remember about Premium Booster 02, it is largely a reprint set. Now, it is a very good reprint set. Things like the EB02 Luffy, which has been a real pain of a card price-wise, getting reprinted. Boncray Bentham from EB01, which has been a bit of a pain price-wise, getting reprinted. And while we're here, the Cavendish from EB01 and the Boone from EB01. It's not just an EB01 reprint set, but it is a good reprint set. We've then got a bunch of, new cards. There's a bunch of manga events, one for each of the 4 emperors, like, for instance, Cross Guild, which, as far as I am concerned, is probably one of the best looking manga events we've seen. But then we've also got Gum Gum Giant, which is one of the best cards in the game, getting a manga event. So that's also a pretty big deal. Elsewhere, we've got Gold Dawn coming back, but it's better than it was before, because like before, we've got regular foil and gold, but now the gold is just so much better. Like, look at the Calgara Don, for instance, where we've got Calgara and Nolan just having a bit of a drink, but that little etching in gold is not on the Hollow Don, it's only on the Gold Don. And the Gold Don, it's adding little detailings like this, which is awesome. We've then got a bunch of different reverse hollow, like the Bonnie Pizza reverse hollow pattern, for instance, which is weird but also kind of awesome. And we're left with a really, really, really good set. It's one that, frankly, you should be very excited about. We like Premium Booster. Well, I like Premium Booster 02. And I think you should like Premium Booster 02 as well. Obviously, there's things like, the reverse hollow patterns have not been officially confirmed or any of that. They shouldn't really need to be, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, because we know what the deal is. And although it is largely a reprint set, like I told you, and I mean it, it is largely a reprint set, we do have 2 new rares and 1 new super rare coming around in each colour. So if we go and have a look at yellow, for instance, we've got ourselves a new rare of Atama, and we got ourselves a new rare of Portcullis the Ace, but then we got ourselves a new super rare of Boa Hancock. So that's cool. It's not a huge amount of new mechanically unique cards, but 3 for each colour will do for now. And it's worth pointing out that on the same day, October the 3rd, we do get the Learn Together deck set. Now, this is not an essential product by any stretch of the imagination, but essentially what we've got here is 3 decks, and it's very much a learn-to-play product. If you've got friends who want to play the One Piece card game but don't know where to start, you buy this and you play it with them. 3 decks, alternate art leaders, and it does have alternate art leaders, and we know it's got some good reprints of playable cards to help you out as well. but it is very much a learn to play, get your friends playing One Piece, rather than like a new starter deck or booster pack set or any of that. If you want something a bit more substantially new, then on the 7th of November, we've got OP13. Now, OP13 is another one of those whereby, as it stands at the moment, we don't actually have an official release date. The official release date is November, but we know from distributors, etc., what the release date is overwhelmingly likely to be, so it's going to be November the 7th. Not guaranteed it's till it's put on the official website, but overwhelmingly likely to be the 7th of November. And this is a big set. A very, very big set indeed. This is the biggest set that the One Piece card game has ever had. Hands down, no question. Don't even worry about it. Don't argue with me. This is the biggest set. Now, we've got anniversary cards, gold and silver of Shanks. We've had them in the past couple sets. We've got new super rares featuring characters like Luffy and Tashigi, which I think are the new best special rares so far, beating out the ones that we saw in OP12, which I genuinely thought were the best ones yet. But then in addition to that, we've got wanted poster special rares of the Three Brothers and Goldie Roger, which a lot of people are going to be very happy about. But then, in addition to that, instead of one manga rare, we've got 3 manga rares. Luffy, Sabo, and Ace, the Three Brothers. And then red manga rares of Luffy, Sabo, and Ace, the Three Brothers. So we got the anniversary cards, 2 types of special rares, and 2 types of manga, normal and red, each of which has 3. Make no mistake about it, this is a huge set. Add to that, the Imu is coming as a leader and looks to be the best leader in the game. Plus, we've also got Roger and Ace that look like phenomenal leaders. They are right below Imu, fighting for best deck in the format. We've then got leader Luffy, which doesn't look quite as good. Leader Sabo, which is actually making waves lately. And then leader Bonnie, which again is not making as many waves, but you never know. There's a lot of good stuff coming in here. This is a set which is not, for collectors, I've just outlined it. This set is nuts for collectors. But for players, this set is also nuts. Seriously, if you haven't pre-ordered OP13 and you've got a good place to pre-order OP13, go pre-order it now. This is, hands down, no question, the biggest One Piece set so far. I'm not exaggerating. Did I mention that we've got the 5 Elders coming with really awesome alternate artwork by the guy who drew Jujutsu Kaisen? And then there's a God Pack with alternate versions which are even fancier. Again, the existence of a God Pack over here is not confirmed. Maybe they'll all come in a God Pack here like they do in Japan. Maybe we'll get them all just normally. I don't know. Point is, there's 2 versions of each of the Celestial Dragons, the 5 Elders, and oh my word, those are absolutely ridiculous as well. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, OP13 is ridiculous. But that's the end of the, hey, we know everything portion of the video. Now, weirdly, the last thing on the release schedule is the thing we now know the most about. Yes, I know, that's weird. But we do have OP14 coming on the 16th of January. As I've told you a couple of times, these release dates are to be confirmed. What do we know about OP14? Well, it's themed around the 7 Warlords of the Sea. And the English version, not the Japanese version, the English version will include half of the EBO4 cards. So they're releasing out of order. EBO3 we'll get to in a minute, that is getting a separate release in the West. EBO4 is being split in half, and half of it is going into OP14. But remember, the One Piece TCG is gearing up for a simultaneous release. This is one of the ways in which they're making it happen. Essentially, they are cutting out one of the sets from our release schedule and whacking it into a couple of other sets, one of which is OP14. But also on the 16th of January, something I am legitimately incredibly hyped for, Starter Deck 29 which is going to be a yellow Straw Hat Egghead Island starter deck. I've got a real soft spot for the Egghead Island art because that's where I caught up to the manga in my personal reading, and also because when I went to One Piece Emotion, there was a big focus on that, as there probably should have been. One Piece Emotion was so good. But the point is, we're getting a new starter deck, and it kind of looks awesome because we've got yellow Straw Hat Egghead, and it's got a new Luffy leader as well as new character cards featuring their Egghead outfits. And it includes a bonus pack containing 3 cards with a special finish. Expect it to be very much like Starter Deck 22, which, as I told you, has just released over here in the West. We don't know too much about this yet. It's not been officially revealed in Japanese or any of that malarkey. But to be blunt, I'm a little bit excited. It looks awesome. Can't wait to start seeing some cards from that one. Now, after that, we're into EBO 3, the Heroines Edition, coming out on the 20th of February. Now, this is the one that has started to be shown off over in Japan lately, so we're in a weird situation where EBO 3 is the last thing on the docket for us as it stands at the moment, but because the release schedule is getting a bit screwy with, getting the simultaneous worldwide release lined up, we are in a situation where Japan is actually, this is next up for them. So this is what they're currently revealing. And when we call it a Heroines Edition, we mean a Heroines Edition. Leader, there's only one of them. It's Vivi. What other cards have we seen so far? We've seen a Nami. And we've seen a U card, which helps out the old Nami leader. This is very much Heroines by name, Heroines by nature. So we don't know a huge amount about this set. We've not seen a huge amount of cards in this set yet. But it is very much like the EB sets tend to be nowadays. This is a very themed set. This is all about heroines. Female characters. That's what you should expect. That's what we've got. And you know what? Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's going to be another very popular set. It cannot be as good as OP13 because it's going to be a while before anything can be as good as OP13. But remember, EBO1 turned out to be a very good set of a bunch of playable cards that sold out and then it's really annoying to get hold of. And remember that EBO2 turned out to be a very good set of a bunch of playable cards that sold out and then was a pain to get hold of. Might I just suggest, since it's happened twice, just kind of assume it's going to happen for EBO3? That might be the best thing to do. So there we go. That's what's coming. That's what we got to look forward to. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these things you're looking forward to. Tell me which of these things you're going harder or softer on. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.